Stop. Before you scroll past this, I need you to understand what just happened. Iran fired ballistic missiles and drones at a United States military base on Saudi soil in the middle of the night. American soldiers were inside a building when it was struck. Some of them are in serious condition right now. And here is the number that should make everyone sit up straight. More than 300 American service members have now been wounded since this war began. Over 300. In less than 1 month. This is not a proxy skirmish. This is not a distant conflict. American blood is being spilled. And today we are going to talk about exactly how we got here and what happens next. Let us start with Friday night, March 27th, 2026. Prince Sultan Air Base, located about 60 miles outside Riyadh in the capital of Saudi Arabia. The base typically houses between 2,000 and 3,000 American soldiers, mostly involved in missile defense systems and logistical support. It is one of the most important American military installations in the entire Gulf region. Friday night, that base came under attack. Iran fired 6 ballistic missiles and 29 drones directly at Prince Sultan Air Base. At least 15 American troops were injured, 5 of them in serious condition. The soldiers did not even have time to fully evacuate. They were inside an installation building at the time of impact. The strike hit them where they stood, but the human toll was not the only damage. Multiple refueling aircraft were damaged, including an E-3 Sentry AWACS command and control plane. These are not cheap machines. These are the eyes and ears of American air operations across the entire region. At least one KC-135 air refueling aircraft was reportedly on fire as a direct result of the strike. Iran then released satellite images showing what they claimed were burning aircraft on the runway. They wanted the world to see it. They wanted this moment documented. And the world saw it. Now here's the question that nobody's asking loudly enough. This base has been hit before. Saudi Arabia has intercepted missiles aimed at it multiple times over the past month. American soldiers have been wounded there in previous attacks. One of them, Army Sergeant Benjamin Pennington, just 26 years old, was wounded at Prince Sultan Air Base on March 1st and died from his injuries just days later. So if this base keeps getting targeted, why are American troops still inside it? And more importantly, why is Iran still able to hit it? The answer to that question tells you everything about where this war actually stands right now. To understand this, we need to go back exactly 1 month, February 28th, 2026. The United States and Israeli forces launched nearly 900 strikes in the first 12 hours of what the U.S. called Operation Epic Fury. The attacks targeted Iranian missiles, air defenses, military infrastructure, and Iranian leadership itself. President Trump announced the strikes at 2 a.m. in an 8-minute video on Truth Social. There was no formal address to Congress, no press briefing, just a video, and then the bombs started falling. The stated goals were clear: destroy Iran's nuclear program, obliterate its ballistic missile arsenal, eliminate its proxy network, annihilate its navy. The first wave of strikes killed Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, along with dozens of senior Iranian officials. It was the most dramatic opening to any American military operation in decades. But Iran did not collapse. Iran did not surrender. Instead, it launched hundreds of retaliatory missiles and thousands of drones across the entire Middle East, hitting American bases in Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia. This was not a war that ended in a week. This became a grinding, bloody, month-long exchange, and Prince Sultan Air Base sat right in the middle of it. Now, if you look closely at this attack, something important becomes very clear. The United States military actually believed the situation was improving. Just 2 days before Friday's strike, CENTCOM Commander Admiral Brad Cooper said publicly that Iranian missile and drone launches were down by more than 90% since the start of the conflict. He said the U.S. had damaged or destroyed over 2/3 of Iran's missile, drone, and naval production facilities. That sounded like progress. That sounded like the war was winding down. And then, 6 ballistic missiles and 29 drones hit a base 60 miles from the Saudi capital. The real reason behind this is something military planners have been quietly worried about for weeks. There are growing concerns that U.S. allied Arab states are running dangerously low on missile interceptors. Some countries have reportedly warned the White House they are being forced to conserve their interceptors, which means incoming missiles are getting through that would have been shot down a month ago. Iran still has missiles, and the defenses protecting American troops are getting thinner. Let us walk through the full picture, one step at a time. Step 1, February 28th. The U.S. and Israel launch Operation Epic Fury, nearly 900 strikes in 12 hours. Iran's supreme leader is killed. The world holds its breath. Step 2, Iran retaliates immediately. Missiles rain down across the Gulf. American bases in Kuwait, Qatar, Bahrain, and Saudi Arabia are all targeted within the first 48 hours. 6 U.S. service members are killed when an Iranian drone strikes an operations center at a civilian port in Kuwait. Step 3. The U.S. pours more forces into the region. Elements from the 82nd Airborne Division are deployed. The 31st Marine Expeditionary Unit, carrying around 3,500 sailors and Marines, arrives in the Middle East. The Pentagon is clearly preparing for a longer fight. Step 4. Prince Sultan Air Base keeps getting hit. First attack, second attack. A soldier dies. A separate strike earlier in the same week injured 14 more people at the base. The strikes continue. Step 5. Friday night. 6 ballistic missiles, 29 drones. 15 Americans were wounded, aircraft on fire. And the total wounded count for the entire operation crosses 300. 13 U.S. service members have been killed since this war began. Over 300 more have been wounded. And the war just entered its second month. Let us talk about what this actually means beyond the immediate casualties. The damage to those refueling aircraft is more significant than most people realize. KC-135 tankers and E-3 AWACS planes are force multipliers. They allow fighter jets to stay in the air longer. They coordinate air operations across hundreds of miles. Losing even a few of them fundamentally changes what American forces can do in this region. And then there is the broader economic picture. Oil prices have already surged past $100 a barrel, the highest since the COVID-19 pandemic, triggering serious warnings of a potential global recession. The Strait of Hormuz remains under threat. The Red Sea is still dangerous. Global shipping is scrambling to find alternate routes. Pakistan has announced it will host emergency diplomatic talks between Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and Egypt, aimed at de-escalating the situation, though neither the United States nor Iran are participating directly. And diplomatically, there is a particularly painful detail here. Just one day before Operation Epic Fury began, Oman's foreign minister had announced that Iran had agreed to never stockpile enriched uranium and to allow full international verification. He said peace was within reach. It was not, and now we are here. So where does this go from here? There are really 3 directions this could move. The first, the U.S. absorbs the hit, tightens base security, and continues the air campaign. And the 300 wounded becomes a number that slowly climbs higher. The strikes on Iran continue, and this becomes a war of attrition, slow, grinding, and costly on both sides. The second, the Pentagon is currently weighing whether to send up to 10,000 more U.S. troops to the Middle East. If Friday's attack becomes the political trigger for that decision, the American footprint in the Gulf expands dramatically. That raises the stakes for everyone, including Iran, which has already warned that a ground presence would bring what it calls a very unpleasant surprise. The third, and this is the one diplomats are quietly hoping for, the shock of 300 wounded Americans forces a conversation that neither side has been willing to have publicly. Back-channel talks through Pakistan or Oman, a pause in hostilities, a way out that lets both sides claim something. One former U.S. ambassador put it bluntly, "We have not stopped Iran from its campaign against the Gulf. We have not eliminated all of their missiles, and they still have over 400 kilograms of highly enriched uranium, buried, but still there." That one sentence quietly dismantles every victory speech made over the past month. Here's the thought I want to leave you with. 1 month ago, this war was sold to the world as a swift, decisive operation. Strike hard, strike fast, remove the nuclear threat. Come home, clean, controlled, finished. 1 month later, 13 Americans are dead. Over 300 are wounded. An airbase 60 miles from the Saudi capital just got hit with 35 missiles and drones in a single night. And Iran still has enriched uranium buried somewhere underground. There's a word for a war that was supposed to be over quickly, but is not. History has a very clear name for it. And every soldier sitting inside a building at Prince Sultan Air Base tonight knows exactly what that word feels like. If this video helped you understand what is happening, share it with someone who needs to see it. Subscribe and turn on notifications, because this story is not slowing down. If anything, it is just getting started.